Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 12th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our storm system pivoting down the coastline here. It's going to set up shop right off the Bay Area. Spread some thunderstorm activity, some precipitation, mountain snows, some gusty winds, and some wave action with it. We'll take a look at those details as we go through the video here this morning. Taking a look at the visible satellite imagery, you can see how the marine layer is pushed inland. It covers Los Angeles, San Diego Metro. You can see it infiltrate into some of the valley areas as well. So if you're out on some of the higher terrain out there, you could actually look down at the top of this stratus layer. Pretty interesting stuff there. Now taking a look at the Bay Area, you can see how it's trying to infiltrate into some of the valley areas, even trying to get into the Central Valley a little bit. You can see the nice snow-capped mountains across the Sierra Nevada as well. And Northern California, you're getting the high and mid-level clouds from the next system streaming over the area. Here's Lake Tulare right here. And, I think that it has actually gone. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think it's dried up currently. But since it just recently dried up in the last year or so, it probably could make a comeback, if we get a pretty rapid warm up and we get a lot of snow runoff, or we get a couple more systems in here as well. But that is where it is. Now, here we go. Onset for showers late Friday through Saturday. Check it out. Santa Rosa, 9 p.m. And you can see how it moves down the line across the Bay Area, San Jose, and down towards Monterey and Big Sur. And then after 6 a.m. Sunday, it's going to slide down towards Southern California, but we're going to have multiple rounds of precipitation with this and multiple rounds of thunderstorms potentially also, and some gusty winds and some wave action on the coastline, so don't forget that. Looking at Sacramento National Weather Service, you can kind of see how they have small hail, lightning, brief heavy rain, gusty winds, and watch out, eyes on the sky today here. You got the funnel cloud potential as we go through today and Saturday afternoon and evening, the most likely time frame. Now, taking a look at the impacts here, again, we're going to get some snow for the higher terrain, minor impacts, maybe some moderate, depending on how it works out. But you can see the snow levels lowering to 4,500 feet to 5,500 feet on Saturday, down to 4,000 feet by Sunday morning. So it doesn't take much to make things slick out here. Just because you're not getting 2 to 3 feet doesn't mean that an inch or two of snow across the roadway can't make things slick. And the timing of this graphic here is Saturday through Sunday, April 13th through 14th. Now, here we go. Southern California, check it out. Some snow even for the higher terrain down there. Snow levels lowering towards 4,000 feet Saturday through Sunday, and even a 10% chance of a dusting of snow on the Grapevine. And we're going to get some rainfall, maybe some 1 to 2 inches in the mountains and the foothills there. 10 to 20% chance and very low chance of a severe thunderstorm or tornado, but you cannot rule it out completely. Southwest wind gusts 25 to 50 Saturday, west 20 to 40 on Sunday here. So some minor to moderate impacts possible. And you can see the better amounts across Santa Barbara and Ventura County versus the San Diego Metro, and kind of splitting the difference there across some of the Los Angeles Metro. Better amounts across the higher terrain. Also windy here. This is Phoenix, Arizona. There's going to be some wind across much of the region. I'll show you the weather models on that here in a moment. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on the link down below. Solar powered. I've got 2 of these running at my house, and I actually check this more than I check my other stations now, because it shows the temperature at your house right here if you want. It sends you notifications when it starts raining at your house or when you get lightning strikes. Very fun station. Highly recommend. Now, let's take a look at the European model here versus the GFS. This is last night's run. Clearly, we have the storm system. It's right off the coastline. It's on its way. There's no stopping it now, and you can kind of see it hang out as we go through this weekend. But by the time we get towards Monday, it is going to try to kick out of here, and another system tries to slide through the Pacific Northwest. And you can see the models are backing off on the extent of this coming down into some of the Great Basin here, some of the Intermountain West, pushes it off to the east a bit more. And we start to build a ridge here as we go through next week. So we'll be watching that over the next few days and break that down. That would definitely start to warm us up again. Taking a look at the timing of this precipitation here, you see as we go through the day today, it's going to start across some of the higher terrains here in Nevada. By the time we go towards this afternoon, here we are through about 5 p.m. now, and then you actually on the weather models here, and you can kind of see the system pivoting down the coastline here, starting to bring some of that rain into the Bay Area here as we go through tomorrow morning down the Central Coast, and by Saturday morning it shows a round of rainfall coming down for Southern California and eventually sliding down across the Los Angeles Metro and San Diego through the evening and nighttime hours. And you notice that low just kind of sitting right off the coastline here. So we're going to have multiple rounds of precipitation, some wraparound moisture, thunderstorm activity, and hopefully this overperforms a little bit as far as snowfall is concerned in the mountains. We're already above average, but we will take whatever we can get. And you can see as we go through Sunday, another round for Southern California as well. And again, some of these could have lightning associated with them. And by the time we go into the day Monday, this starts to kick off to the east finally. If we look at the North American model, you'll notice something similar as we go through. This is about 5 p.m. tonight here. And then as we go through the nighttime hours and into tomorrow morning, you can see the low right off the coastline. And again, multiple rounds of precipitation as we go through Saturday and all the way on in through Sunday. And then as you notice, another round will come through Sunday afternoon for Southern California as well. Now, taking a look at surface-based CAPE, this is convective available potential energy, kind of like thunderstorm fuel. And you can see how we do destabilize things here a bit as we go towards today. And then as we go towards tomorrow, maybe a better chance along some of the coastline, at least according to the North American model. But you can't rule out thunderstorm activity down even towards Southern California through tomorrow. And then again on Sunday, as you can see here, as the low pivots down the coastline. It could be when some waterspout potential happens there across some of Southern California as that upper level low gets pretty close to the area. Now, looking at the wind speeds, check it out. By the time you go on in towards the afternoon today, look at some of these winds kicking up across Nevada, Arizona, California, especially across the higher terrain, some of the coastal areas as well. And this is going to kind of be a reoccurring theme as we go through the next few days. Saturday afternoon, look at some of these winds for the Sierra Nevada, coastal areas, higher terrain of the peninsular ranges and the transverse ranges all the way out across some of northern Arizona. And this continues all the way through Sunday. As you see, the low pressure is going to be with us and kind of kick up again here as we go through Sunday afternoon. Now, taking a look at lightning flash density potential, and as I've been mentioning, we have thunderstorm threat with this coming up. This would be this afternoon coming up here. And you can see maybe a thunderstorm down towards some of the valley areas here. And then as we go through the day Saturday, we're going to do something similar as we kick off a few thunderstorms potentially across some of the valley areas. I wouldn't rule out some across the coastal areas as well. And then as we go through Sunday, you'll notice it does include some of further south into Southern California here as well. And then that system should be kicking off as we go on into Monday. And just a reminder, these storms have been overproducing. It seems like every single storm has been producing quite a bit of lightning that comes into our region. So kind of expecting that with this one as well. Here's significant wave height and direction. And you can see as we go through this weekend, again, we're going to get the increase in the wave height. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're headed out towards the coastal areas here this weekend. And then some wind-driven waves as we go through the early portion of next week. And then we'll see if that ridge builds or not along the west coast of North America. So here's the daily highs today. Check it out. Some upper 80s, 90s across the desert areas, some 70s across much of the valley. And Southern California, pretty nice day again today if that marine layer burns off for some of you. And then as we go on in towards tomorrow, you'll notice the cool down. Look at some of these temperatures just plummeting down here, dropping 15 plus degrees for some areas. And then we go into Sunday, check it out, further cooling across the desert areas, much of the southwest. And then by Monday, we might start to bounce these temperatures back. And if that ridge builds, as you can see, we start to bring some of that heat back here to much of California and the southwest USA going on in towards the following weekend. Here's 6 to 10 day, kind of a mixed signal here, some below average across the interior and above average right along the immediate coast. Here's that precipitation after the storm. Are we going to cut off the precipitation for a while? Possibly. The models are starting to come into some agreement on that here, but we'll break it down day by day and we'll see how that trends. And here's the 8 to 14 day all the way through April 25th, the above average signal for much of the west coast. And check it out, 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook all the way through April 25th. Again, that below average signal. We are doing quite well, snow water equivalent as far as that is concerned across much of California. A lot of the Lower Colorado is doing quite well also, and that feeds a lot of water towards the Los Angeles and San Diego metro here. They export it out to them. But yeah, and you can kind of see that here is their lower basin area, and you can see where the hatched area is, the Colorado export area. So that is good news for Southern California for sure. But yeah, anyway, hopefully this marine layer burns off for a lot of you across some of the San Diego metro. Elsewhere, if you're across some of the interior areas, you're rooting for some of these showers to get out here. The farmers out there planting definitely need it. There would be Lake Tulare. You can kind of see the dry lake bed right there. As far as I understand, there's not much water in it right now, but that could still change. There's a lot of snow up across the Sierra Nevada, and if that melts off rapidly, especially, that would be, it could bring back the lake. Problem with some of the subsidence, as we took the groundwater out, the land sinks out there, and when you try to replace it, the land is sunk and it kind of compresses all that land, so the water cannot recharge a lot of those aquifers and some of that underground water out there. So that's probably one reason why Lake Tulare has kind of reappeared. There's not much room for it to seep down in. There's probably, there's got to be some. Obviously, it soaks into the earth eventually, but not as much as there once was. So hopefully hopefully we'll see if Lake Tulare can make a reappearance out there. I'm not sure how that affects logistics, but anyway, yeah, we'll watch that over the next few months and see what happens with that. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.